सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय जय रामा जानकी रामा, जय जय रामा जानकी रामा। रघुकुल भूषण राजा रामा, रघुकुल रघुकुल भूषण राजा रामा, रघुकुल जय जय रामा जानकी रामा। तापसरंजन तारक नामा, तापसरंजन तारक नामा, दानव भंजन कोदंड रामा, दानव भंजन कोदंड रामा। जय जय रामा जानकी रामा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। जानकी रामा श्री रघुरामा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम Shri Rama. Jaya Jaya Rama, Janaki Rama. Janaki Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Atulita baladhamam hemashailaabhadeham danujavana krishanum jnaninam agraganyam sakala gunanidhanam vanaranamadhisham raghupati priya bhaktam vatajatam namami. Raghupati priya bhaktam. Humble prostrations to one and all present here. So till now we have seen Hanumanji, after having met Sita Mata, in order to meet Ravana, he goes to the other end of Ashoka Vatika. After having eaten fruits, he starts uprooting the trees. The gods come to prevent him, but he smashed them. Some of them were left injured, not killed, so that they can go back and inform Ravana. Ravana sends a bigger army. And finally, Ravana's son was killed, Akshay Kumar. Finally, Indrajit comes. Hanumanji yields to Indrajit so that he can meet Ravana. Hanumanji is bound by Nagapasha, taken to the Ravana's court. Ravana asks this question, "O monkey, who are you?" For this, Hanumanji's answer is epic. What was Hanumanji's answer? So in Hanumanji's answer, there is absolutely no mention of who he is. It's all about the glory of the Lord. That shows absolute egolessness. Anyway. So what was his answer? That Lord, with the power of whose Maya, infinite number of cosmoses are created. That Lord who empowers Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara in creation, sustenance and destruction. That Lord who empowers Adishesha to bear the burden of the whole world. That Lord who takes avatar now and then to protect the virtuous and to punish the wicked people like you. That Lord who broke Shiva Dhanush and thus in the process shattering the egos of the arrogant kings who have assembled there. That Lord who killed Trishira, Khara, Dushana, Vali, such monsters. That Lord, because of a fraction of whose power you became the conqueror of the three worlds. That Lord, whose wife you stole away in a deceitful way. I am the messenger of such a Lord. And then Hanumanji goes on to put some wisdom into the minds of Ravana. Oh Ravana, this Rama is not an ordinary human being. He is Lord himself. He is the death of even Lord Death. Don't consider him as an ordinary human being. So the best thing you can do is surrender unto Bhagavan. He will forgive all your sins. So then you can worship that lotus feet of the Lord, remember his lotus feet and rule the kingdom. This is the best thing you can do. Don't be a blemish in the noble fame of Pulastya dynasty. You belong to this dynasty of Pulastya. Don't spoil the name of your ancestors. Ravana, a person who is hostile to Lord, he may gain name, fame, power, position, etc., but that is not going to stay. His condition is like that of the river which is born during monsoon seasons. So when the rain is there, such rivers appear, but when the rain stops, those rivers disappear. So the prosperity of people who are hostile to the Lord is in the same way. Ravana, if you are hostile to Bhagavan, no power in this world can save you. Even Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara cannot save you if you are hostile to the Lord. Ravana, your real problem is your ego. And this ego is born out of the darkness of ignorance. This is your greatest enemy. Your enemy is not somebody outside. Your enemy is your own ego. And this ego is the cause of all delusion. And this ego itself is the cause of all sufferings in life. So therefore, efface this ego, bow down to the Lord. This is the way to peace and all blessedness. What was the effect of Ravana upon hearing this loving advice given by Hanumanji? Ravana laughed. Though the words of Hanumanji was filled with wisdom from the scriptures, but Ravana made fun of Hanumanji, saying, "Oh, we are so fortunate that in the form of a monkey we got a great guru. Oh monkey, you are talking too much. That itself is a sign that you are going to die. Because a person who is going to die talks too much. Hanumanji said, it is not I who is going to die, you are the one who is going to die. Vinashakale vipirita buddhi. Ravana becomes very angry. He shouts, who is there? Kill him! Some soldiers come forward to attack Hanumanji. At that time, Vibhishana enters into the scene. He says, "O Lord, this is not right. A Duta should not be killed. He should not be harmed." So then finally it was decided by that Sabha, any monkey loves his tail the most. A monkey is always attached to his tail, so let us wrap the tail of this monkey with clothes soaked in oil and let us set fire to it. So this was unanimously decided by Ravana's court, and now let us see what happens. So when Hanumanji listened to these words coming from Ravana, बचन सुनत कपि मन मुसुकाना भई सहाय सारद में जाना जातु धान सुनि रावण बचना लागे रचे मूढ़ सोई रचना. When Hanumanji heard these words from Ravana, he smiled internally. He did not smile externally, he smiled. He said, Sakshat Saraswati Mata is dancing on the tongue of Ravana. Because there cannot be any greater foolish decision than this. Because a monkey is the most fickle animal. Chanchala. In the hand of a fickle being, you are giving fire. What can be a greater foolishness than this? Ravana had 10 heads, but not even one head was functioning. So therefore, he just smiled internally. And then all the courtiers, they became busy wrapping the tail of Hanumanji. And Hanumanji silently kept on extending the tail without anybody's notice. And they were going on wrapping, and they found that it has extended further. So it is said here, exaggeration to the limit. It is said here, all the clothes in the entire Lanka were used to wrap up. No cloth was remaining. No oil was remaining. In fact, the entire Lanka Vasis were busy wrapping this tail. And finally, a big procession was taken. They thought, let us celebrate this event. So Hanumanji was taken. Now Hanumanji is bound. Bound by what? Nagapasha. So they thought Hanumanji is totally helpless, held captive. He cannot move. So Hanumanji was taken in a long procession through the main street of Lanka. And then, once they had reached the main street, on an auspicious occasion, Muhurta, they set fire. So it is said here, there were people kicking Hanumanji, making fun of Hanumanji. All those things were happening. The drums were beaten to celebrate the event. All the kinds of musical instruments were played. And thus, they just set fire to the tail. Hanumanji waited for some time because he wanted that fire to really catch up. And then what happened? Suddenly he became small. Once that fire had really caught up, at different places people had set fire because the tail was really long. And once the fire really caught up, Hanumanji suddenly became small. And when he became small, what happened to this Nagapasha? Everything became loose, and quickly he jumped onto the top of the palace. And there was a big scream by all the ladies who had assembled to to enjoy the scene. They screamed. They never expected this. And exactly at that time it is said, Hari preritute avasara chale maruta unchas. All the 49 different types of winds. Unchas. Marudganas are 49 different types. So Marudgana means what? Different types of wind, breeze and all those things. Storm. All those 49 different types of wind started blowing together as though to assist the fire to catch up fast. Everybody was stunned. Hanumanji gave a big roar and then again became huge. And then he started jumping from one palace to another. The whole Lanka started burning. People were screaming, not able to believe what they were seeing. Some of them said, I had told you that this is not an ordinary monkey. He is some devata in disguise. I had told you. So such people are always there. When something goes wrong, they will come. Some others were saying, some wise ones, see, this is all the result of troubling good-hearted people. What Ravana did was wrong. So now the whole Lanka is paying the price for it. So in this way, people were talking so many things. Hanumanji started burning the entire Lanka except one palace. Which is that palace? Vibhishna's palace. Ulati palati Lanka sabajari. Ulati palati. Ulat palatke. You know how you whitewash these walls? So this is called ulat palat. So in this way, the entire Lanka was burned. Nobody could stop him. Now here a statement is made. Takar dut anal jehi sirija jarana sote hi karan girija. Was Hanumanji experiencing the burning sensation in his tail? So it is said, no. It was only a cooling sensation. There was no burning sensation at all. And why the reason? Why is it that Hanumanji was not experiencing that burning sensation? So the reason said is, that ability of the fire to burn, that ability actually doesn't belong to the fire, it belongs to the Lord. How can the power of the Lord anyway negatively impact the devotee of the Lord? It is impossible. Because a true devotee is a person who is actually absent. When a person functions as a true devotee of the Lord, he is a perfect instrument in the hands of the Lord. He has absolutely no ego. Once he has no ego, who is functioning through him? The Lord is functioning. So therefore, though you may see that devotee is functioning, actually there is no devotee there. There is only Bhagavan there. So how can Bhagavan's power affect Bhagavan? Not possible. A similar story we find in Kenopanishad also. At the end of Kenopanishad there is a story. So all these devatas were celebrating their victory over Rakshasas. And everybody was claiming that because of me, we won the war. Everybody was taking claim. So Indra was there, Agni was there, Vayu Devata was there. So then Bhagavan, actually it was by the blessings of Bhagavan they won the war, but after winning they completely forgot about Bhagavan. So then Bhagavan decided to teach them a lesson. So he comes in the form of a yaksha. This story comes in Kenopanishad. So as the party was going on in the evening, they saw that somebody is standing far away. They could not understand who this person is. So then first this Agni Devata was sent, hey, go and find out who is there. So Agni goes there. Before he could ask, who are you? Yaksha asked him, who are you? So then Agni Devata, you don't know me. I am powerful, this, that, etc. He beats his own drum. Oh, is it so? You're so great? Then Yaksha puts a blade of grass. Okay, if you're so great, burn this blade of grass. A dry grass. And then Agni Devata is trying his level best to burn this blade of grass. Nothing happens. Holding his head in shame, he goes back. Then comes Vayu Devata. He is asked to blow the blade of grass. He is not able to. So that story is there in Kenopanishad. Ultimately, these devatas are taught the lesson that whatever power you have, it is not yours, it belongs to Bhagavan. So, here it is said, how can that fire burn the devotee of the Lord? It is impossible. Anyway, the whole Lanka was burned. Finally, once the mission was accomplished, Hanumanji takes a dip. He jumps into the ocean, puts off the fire, comes back, stands in front of Sita Mata as though nothing has happened. He has just eaten some fruits and he has come back. And he says, "Oh mother, now that I am leaving, please give me some identification mark, so that I can prove to the Lord that yes, I really met you and have conveyed your message to you." So then Sita Mata removes that crushed jewel, Chudamani, to him. And then Sita Mata says, "Please offer my pranams to the Lord along with Lakshmana also. My prostration to Lakshmana also, because that guilt feeling is there. Offer the pranams and please remind Bhagavan of the strength of his arrow. Remind him of the story of Jayant." So there is a story. So this also is a way to convey that, that this person has truly met some secret story which others don't know. Very personal story. So this personal story is the story of Jayant. Who is Jayant? Son of Indra. So this story is this. So when in the forest, Bhagavan was plucking some flowers and he made a beautiful garland and he offered to Sita Mata. So seeing all this, Jayant was there. Jayant is a son of Indra. He thought, how can this be Lord? He looks like a henpecked husband. This cannot be Lord. So anyway, to test Bhagavan, what he does is, he becomes a crow and comes to Sita Mata and starts pecking her foot to such an extent that blood started coming and she screamed in pain. Bhagavan looked at it, and by the very first look itself he understood, this is not a crow, it is Indra's son. What Bhagavan does is, he just plucks one blade of grass and then throws at him. And this blade of grass becomes Brahmastra. And it started chasing this fellow. And he is running. He first went to Indra. Indra said, "Don't come to me, go away." Stupid fellow. He went to then Brahmaji. Brahmaji also, "Don't come anywhere near, go away from here." Everybody chased him. Finally, Naradji felt, compassionate, pity for him and said, "See, there is only one way. Go to Bhagavan and bow down to him. That's the only way. Where you have committed crime, there only you have to seek forgiveness also." So finally, this crow, Jayant, he goes and prostrates to Bhagavan. Bhagavan says, "See, once a Brahmastra is left, it has to do something. It can't go in vain. So therefore, I will take away one eye of yours." So thus, from that day onwards, Jayant became one-eyed. So this is the story. So this is a very personal story which Sita Mata and Bhagavan Ramchandra only knew. Maybe Lakshmana was not there at that place. So then tell this story and also remind Bhagavan of the power of his arrow. And please tell, "Oh Bhagavan, if within 1 month if you don't come, you will not see me alive." So this message was given. Hanumanji prostrates to Sita Mata, saying that, "Oh mother, very soon we are going to come. Please give up all this, dejection, etc." Consoling Sita Mata, he returns. He gets ready to launch himself to cross the ocean, and he gives a huge cry. Not cry, rather roar. Roar of a lion. And it is said that when the Lankavasis heard this roar, all those pregnant women had miscarriage. They were so scared, because that was the impact which Hanumanji had created in the entire Lanka. The moment they heard this, all the babies in their womb gone. Anyway, Hanumanji returns, and when he returned, all the monkeys, it was as though a new life has entered into them. They were like fish into water. They were fish out of water. Because Sugriva had warned that if you don't bring this whereabouts of Sita Mata, if you come back empty-handed, I am going to kill all of you. This was the warning. So everybody literally, they were on the verge of death. It was at this time that Hanumanji comes, and everybody becomes cheerful. They came to know that Hanumanji was successful. How? During the exam results, I don't know now what is the case, in our times. So when we go to the school, we don't know what the exam results would be. They used to have this progress report and all that. Marks will be given. Opinion of the teacher about this child, that also will be written. And then you have to get the signature also from the parents. It was a terrible day. Everybody would be anxious. What is going to come in that progress report, we don't know. But when the child comes very cheerful, mother knows the result is good. Isn't it? In the same way, when Hanumanji came back, the way in which he came back, that cheerfulness, that enthusiasm, the bright and brilliance, that shining on the face, monkeys understood Hanumanji has accomplished the mission successfully. Right. Foreign returned successfully. So, all of them gathered around Hanumanji, trying to know what actually had happened. They were literally like, as I said, fish into water. All of them gathered, all of them then, they wanted to gather information. What happened? So as they were going, now they were going to meet Sugriva. So Angad was a leader. So as they were going, they found this Madhuvana. Madhuvana, just like Ashoka Vatika was for Ravana, Madhuvana was for Sugriva. A very special garden, fully guarded, full of juicy fruits. So they saw this. All of them looked at Angada. Angada said, "Yes, you enter." All these monkeys entered into that Madhuvana. The guards tried to stop them, but they beat them properly and then started eating all the fruits. These guards went and informed Sugriva, "Oh Lord, these monkeys, they have entered, they are not listening to us, they are eating fruits." Listening to this, Sugriva was happy, because he said, "Yes, that means they are coming back successful. Otherwise, no one even dared to enter that." The very fact that they are eating fruits, it shows that they are successful. Sugriva was also very happy. Finally, they all came to Sugriva. The message was given, and all of them, then they go to Bhagavan. So both of them, Bhagavan and Lakshmana, they were seated on a crystal rock. So then Jambavan comes forward and says, "Oh Lord, what Hanumanji has done, even with thousands of tongues, we will not be able to explain. That's what he has done." So then Bhagavan came to Hanumanji, embraced him and said, "Hanuman, tell me, how is Sita keeping herself alive?" So then Hanumanji gives a metaphor. What is a metaphor? Nama paharo divas nisi ध्यान तुम्हार कपाट लोचन निज पद जंत्रित जाहि प्राण की बाट. Bhagavan. So first let me explain the metaphor. Assume that a person is inside the room and the door is closed. Not only the door is closed, it is also latched and locked. Not only the door is locked, there are two guards near the door. Can this person who is inside the room escape? Door is closed, latched, locked, guarded. Can he escape? No. Now, the comparison is this. Who are the two guards? Nama paharo divasa nisi. There are two guards. So who are these? Bhagavan's name. Rama. They are the two guards. Okay. So who is the person inside this room? The prana of Sita Mata inside the body. So the room is the body. Prana, life force in the body, is the person inside the room. Nama paharo divas nisi dhyana tumhar kapat. Sita Mata's constant meditation upon you, that is the door, closed door. Lochana nijapada jantrita. And Sita Mata's eyes are constantly focused upon her feet. Her eyes are locked into her feet. She is not looking anywhere else. That is the lock for the door. So when such is the condition, how can the prana of Sita Mata ever escape from the body? Are you able to understand the metaphor? So the body is the room, the prana is the person, the closed door is the constant meditation of Sita Mata unto Bhagavan. Her eyes looking into her feet, that is the lock, and her constantly chanting Bhagavan's name, Ram, 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 that is the two guards. So Bhagavan, when in this way she has protected her prana from escaping the body, how can she die? This is the message. And then Hanumanji gives the Chudamani. And Bhagavan embraces the Chudamani close to his heart. And as he does this, his eyes are filled with tears. And then Hanumanji is giving the message, what Sita Mata gave. Bhagavan, this is the message. O Lord, Deena Bandhu Pranatarati Harana. O Lord, who is the friend of the distressed and the one who removes all the sorrows of those who have surrendered unto you. Bhagavan, what is the mistake that I have done? I have surrendered unto you mana, krama, vachana, thought, word and deed. What is the mistake because of which you have abandoned me? Yes, I accept that there is one mistake which I have done. Avagun ek mor mein mana bichurat prana kinha bayana. Yes, Bhagavan, this mistake I have done. The moment I was separated from you, I did not fall, dead. This is my mistake. The moment I was separated from you, I should have died, but I could not. But Bhagavan, that is not my mistake. Then whose mistake is it? नाथ सो नयननि को अपराधा निसरत प्राण करें हटि बाधा. Bhagavan, actually the culprit is my eyes. My eyes are the culprit. That is the reason why I could not leave the body. Now again there is a metaphor. Okay, what is a metaphor? So first let me explain. Suppose there is a cotton bag, and there is a fire, and there is wind also. So what should happen to the cotton bag? So in the presence of wind, those flames of fire should burn the cotton bag into ashes. Yes or no? Yes. But suppose constantly there is water dripping upon this cotton bag, then it can't, isn't it? So now this is a comparison. The physical body is the cotton bag. The pang of separation, the misery, the burning sensation, that is a fire. And that, what you call that? The sighing. That's called a sighing. That is a wind. So fire is there. Wind is there. Cotton bag is there. What should happen to the cotton bag, the body? It should die. But Bhagavan, this eyes, it longed to see you. It wanted to have your darshan. Therefore, these eyes were constantly shedding tears. And because of these tears, this cotton bag could not get burned. So therefore, Bhagavan, it is not my flaw. It is, the culprit is these eyes. Birah agni tanu tola samira श्वास जरई छन माहि शरीर नयन स्रवहि जलो निज हित लागी जरई न पाव देह बिरहागी. Then finally Hanumanji said, "Oh Bhagavan, the misery which Sita Mata is undergoing cannot be explained." So therefore Bhagavan, the sorrow is something like Nimisha karunanidhi jahi kalap samabiti. Every moment is like kalpa for Sita Mata. You know how much is one kalpa? One kalpa is 1000 Chaturyuga. What is Chaturyuga? 4 yugas put together. How much is 4 yuga put together? So Kali Yuga is 4,32,000. Into 2 is Dwapara Yuga. Into 3 is Treta. Into 4 is Satya Yuga. So Satya plus Treta plus Dwapara plus Kali. How many? 43,20,000 years. That is just one Chaturyuga. 1000 Chaturyugas are called one Kalpa. So, one moment equal to one Kalpa. So the point is this, when there is intense misery, it appears as though the time doesn't move. That is why it is said, time is relative. Relativity theory is this. What is time? It all depends on what is the state of your mind. If you are extremely blissful, time goes just like that. 8 hours we sleep as though one moment has passed, isn't it? We are not even aware how 8 hours we could sleep. That is because the bliss is so high. The greatest bliss is the bliss of sleep. That's why nobody wants to get up from sleep. So just the reverse is also true. When there is extreme pain, it literally means the time has stopped. That's the way we feel. So now Sita Mata's suffering was like that. Every moment is for her like Kalpa. So Hanumanji says, Bhagavan, so therefore quickly we have to go. We should not delay. At that time, Bhagavan makes a statement. Very important statement for all of us. What is it? Suni Sita Dukh Prabhu Sukh Ayana Bhari Aaye Jal Rajiv Nayana Bachan Kaya Man Mama Gati Jahi Sapne Hu Bujhiya Bipati Kitai. When Bhagavan heard these words from Hanumanji, his eyes became again filled with tears. But then Bhagavan makes a statement here. What is the statement? Hanuman, Vachana Kaya Mana Mama Gati Jahi. A person who has completely surrendered unto me, thought, word and deed. Such a person, Sapne Bhujya Vipati Kitahi. Is it possible that even in his dream, he can ever be miserable? You see? If a person's mind is in Bhagavan, that person can never be miserable. This is the point. Sorrow and God remembrance cannot go together. Why? What is the nature of Bhagavan? Dukkha Swarupa or Ananda Swarupa? Ananda Swarupa. So if the mind is in Bhagavan, so what you should experience? If your attention is in Bhagavan, if you are remembering the Lord sincerely, then your experience must be Ananda wherever you are. You may be in the greatest of hell, but the mind will be experiencing peace alone. That's the meaning. A very important statement. A remembrance of God and sorrow cannot go together. No, Swamiji, when I do japa, I am miserable only sometimes. That is because your japa is mechanical japa. We had discussed this topic. If your mind is mechanically chanting the name of the Lord, that means you are consciously not with the Lord, but with your problems, worries, anxieties, fears. Wherever your conscious mind is, that is what you will experience. We don't pay much attention to mechanical mind. Mechanically you may be doing japa, but consciously you may be worrying, entertaining all kinds of useless thoughts of the future. Then your experience will be misery. But then don't blame God. Consciously, if you are chanting Bhagavan's name, consciously if you are remembering the Lord, then mind has to experience peace. Wherever you are, whatever your situation may be. And this has been proved very many times by all the saints. There were saints who have been tortured to death. One great example is that of Arjan Dev, Sikh Guru. How he was tortured and killed. My God. 3-4 days he was not given any food. No water, no food. Then finally he was made to sit inside boiling oil. Below fire was lit, he was made to sit. He was asked to make some amendments in that Guru Granth Sahib by the Mughals. He said, no. The inspiration came from the divine, so I don't have any right to change it. Then they said, then you will have to pay the price. He said, any price I am ready to pay. So this was the way in which he was tortured. He was made to sit inside that cauldron, The water was made to boil. He was made to sit inside that water. He was silent. He was constantly doing japa of the Lord. Then he was made to sit on a red hot iron sheet. Constantly he was chanting. Then all this, what do you call that? Hot sand was put upon him. Very many ways he was tortured. And the one statement he made was, Bhagavan, at this time, your name is the sweetest thing. Your name is so sweet. He was undisturbed. So there are so many such saints. Another saint story I read. He was also tortured. You know what they did? He was made to lie down on the grill. You know, grill? Where you roast potatoes, etc. The iron bars. He was made to lie down. And then they were just waiting for him. So after some time, he just turned to this person and said, now this side is cooked. Now you can, Can you imagine the strength of this man? Dosa and all, you do this. Chapati, dosa and all. This side is properly cooked. Now you can just flip. Same thing with Jesus Christ also. Was nailed on the cross. What did he say? What did he say? Oh Lord, forgive them. They poor people, they don't know what they are doing. You see, this is called strength. This is called strength. Even amidst all sufferings, physical pain, here is a man who is absolutely peaceful. This is the kind of abidance we have to cultivate in life. This is true spiritual strength. Right, so whatever is said here is absolutely right. Bachan kaya mana mamagati jahi sapne hu bhujya vipati ki tahi. Is it ever possible that a person will be miserable who has fixed its thought, word and deed upon me? So then Hanumanji said, Kaha Hanumant vipati prabhu soi jab tava sumiran bhajan na hoi. Bhagavan, what you are saying is absolutely right. But the greatest tragedy is when we are not able to remember you. You see the definition of what sorrow is. You see the definition of sorrow of a worldly person and of a spiritual person. What is the definition of a worldly person? Sorrow means unconducive environment. Failures, tragedies, losses, dishonor, criticism. Not promotion but demotion. Unconducive environment equal to sorrow. This is the definition of sorrow of a worldly person. What is the definition of sorrow of a spiritual person? This is the one. Jab tava sumirana bhajanana hoi. Bhagavan, that moment where we are not able to remember you, we forget you, we ignore you, disregard you. That is sorrow. You see? Bhagavan, this is what is happening to Sita Mata there. She is blissful when she is meditating upon you. What you are saying is 100%. But that fellow comes again and again. That monster. Disturbing Sita Mata's meditation. You see, Bhagavan, why should we delay? For you, killing all these asuras is, it is not a job at all. So Bhagavan, we should quickly go. And now Bhagavan is looking at Hanumanji. It's a very beautiful section. Sunu kapito hi saman upakari nahi ko sura nar muni tanudhari prati upakar karau ka tora sanamukh hoi na sakat manamor. Now Bhagavan is looking at Hanumanji with eyes filled with tears of gratitude. And then Bhagavan is saying, Hanuman, there is nobody in the whole world who has served me like you. Nobody, whether it is Sura, Nara, Muni, any embodied being, there is nobody like you who has helped me. Prati upakar karaunga to, I don't know in what way I can, prati upakar, I can do something to you, help you. Sanumukhu hoina sagat manumora, I am not even able to stand in front of you. I am so indebted by you. I don't know how to come out of this debt which you have put upon me. Suna sota tohi urin mein nahi dekhyun kari bichar man mahi. I have thought in very ways, but oh dear son, Tata is the term used. Oh dear son, I don't know how to come out. I will ever be indebted by you, and I will never be able to come out of this debt which you have created upon me. Puni puni kapihi chitava suratrata lochana neer pulak atigata, with eyes filled with tears, with hair standing on end. Bhagavan was constantly looking at Hanuman. And now what was Hanumanji's reaction? Suni Prabhu bachana biloki mukh gata harashi Hanumanta charana parayu premakula trahi trahi bhagavanta siyavara Ramachandra ki jai Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai Umapati Mahadev ki jai Bolo bhai sab santan ki jai. When Bhagavan was looking at Hanumanji with eyes filled with tears of gratitude, on one side Hanumanji was very happy because Bhagavan is pleased with his seva. But at the same time, he was so careful and alert. You know what Hanumanji did? Charana pariyu premakulu. His heart was filled with devotion for God. Then what did he do? He just fell at the feet of Bhagavan, saying what? Trahi trahi Bhagavan. Bhagavan, save me, save me. Save me from what? Ego. You see the alertness of Hanumanji. Bhagavan himself is praising him. If we were to be there in the place of Hanumanji, what we would have done? Bhagavan himself is praising. I think I deserve this praise. I think I can pat my own back. Sabash! Bhagavan himself is praising. Yes or no? We fools, we would have done this. Look at Hanumanji. This is the greatest test to pass. See, any Tom, Dick and Harry praising you, you don't give value. The one who is praising you, appreciating you, you also rate that person, isn't it? If that person is really somebody great in your eyes, your own role model, when that person praises, the effect is much more. When some Tom, Dick and Harry is praising, you don't even pay attention. Now just imagine, Bhagavan is praising. In fact, it was a test to see whether even the slightest trace of ego is it there in my devotee. Bhagavan's Leela is very mysterious. Bhagavan will put you in such a situation where you will be tested. And this is the test. This is the test for moksha, in fact. Do we deserve liberation? Yes, Swamiji, we deserve devolution. This is the test. You will be put in situation where you will be honored, recognized, awarded, rewarded, praised. Look within yourself. To what extent are you feeling joyful? If you are feeling joyful, if you think you deserve the credit for it, even 1%, rebirth is guaranteed. But if you can do this, Bhagavan, no, 100% you, 0% me. Bas, free. Because that's a fact. Moksha means what? Truth. Truth means what? God is doing everything, we don't do anything. This is the truth. To what extent are you convinced? Deep within your heart. No, Swamiji, we are taught Tan Padi Devam Padi. 50% God, 50% my credit. No, I am also working hard, no? How can you say I don't deserve any credit? Hard work I do. There's so much of effort. Sleepless nights. How can you say no effort? You are still yet to become ripe. You see, they are all the great subjective truths of life. The day we say, Bhagavan, 100% you, that inspiration has come from you, resources have come from you, abilities and talents belong to you, life in me belongs to you. At that time, that idea came from you. Enthusiasm to put forth effort came from you. Therefore, Bhagavan, everything belongs to you. The day you can say this, no, the moment you can say this, you are liberated. But unfortunately, somewhere deep down, we say, no, I am there, I should deserve credit. To the extent you feel this, to that extent we are bound. That is called as bandhana. Right? Just imagine, how can an illusory ego, remember, illusory, can deserve any true credit? Can the shadow take credit for all the achievements of mine? Our ego is like that shadow. Remember, who is that shadow related entity? Simhika. You see. See Hanumanji's alertness. The same thing we found when Sita Mata was also looking at him with great. Remember? When he became huge, immediately he became so, oh mother. So this is the greatness of Hanumanji. My God, hats off. Bar bar Prabhu chahai uthava, prema magan tehi uthavanava. Bhagavan is trying to lift him. He doesn't want to lift. He is holding on to Bhagavan's feet. And finally, Prabhu kar pankaj kapike sisa, sumiri sudasa magana gauri sa. So Bhagavan then places his lotus hands upon Hanumanji's head, blesses him, and slowly lifts him, hugs him, makes him sit next to Bhagavan. Kahu kapi Ravana palit lanka, kehi bidhi dehev durga atibanka. Tell me, Hanuman, how did you burn this Lanka? What did Hanumanji say? Bhagwan, Sakha mrg ke badi manusai, Sakha te Sakha par jai. Bhagwan, I am a monkey. The only thing I know is to jump from one branch to another. Shakha to Shakha. Shakha mrgam. Bhagwan, Naghi Sindhu Takapura Jara, Nishichara Ganabadhi, Bipana Ujara. Yes, all these things are true. That I crossed, Lanka was burnt, all things are true. But Bhagwan, let me tell you, so sab tava pratap raghurai, nath na kachu mori prabhutai. All this, it is your pratap, your glory, your greatness. Nothing for me. This is the truth. Now here, there is this beautiful thing. You see, Hanumanji falling at the feet of the Lord. What does Lord do? He lifts Hanumanji, hugs him, makes him sit next to him. This is a great philosophy of Vedanta. What is our job? Our job is only one: effacement of the ego. Our job is only one: dasoham. Then what does Bhagavan do? He gives us the experience of soham. Hanumanji did not go and hug Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we are one. Aham Brahmasmi. Let me sit next to you. It will be so ugly. No. My job is at the feet of the Lord. Bhagavan out of his joy. Hey, come on. Sit next to me. That sitting next to me is called soham. He gives that experience of oneness between Jivatma and Paramatma. Mahavakya experience doesn't come out of effort. It comes out of grace. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti. The same thing, whatever is there in Bhagavad Gita is said here. Those people who worship me with devotion, I give them buddhi. Buddhi yoga, knowledge. Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastaha jnana deepena bhasvata. I light the lamp of knowledge remaining in their heart. See, tesham eva anukampartham. Anukampa is the term used. Out of compassion for that Jivatma, for my devotees, I light the lamp of knowledge. And in that light, he comes to know this great truth. What is the great truth? Aham Brahma Asmi. This is the meaning here. So there is something which we have to do, and there is something which Bhagavan does. What is that we have to do? Self-effacement. Ego destruction. This is what we have to do. Then something happens by grace. Exactly like going to sleep. There is something you have to do. What is that you have to do? To quickly get into sleep. Swamiji, I don't have to do anything. I have to just sit and listen to you. See, if you have to go to sleep, you have to be tired and exhausted. That is what you have to do. Then lie down. Then what will happen? Remember, you cannot choose the time of sleep. You can only wait in patience. Isn't it? You can't command sleep. You can only beg for sleep. But yes, you can prepare for sleep. That is in your hand. Work hard, get exhausted, lie down. You are the sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari for sleep. Those who have studied Tattva. Others can ignore this joke. Okay. So then, just like that, sleep is not in our control, but we can prepare for sleep. For a quick sleep, in the same way. Soham experience is not in our control. Nobody can say that, with self-effort I will attain it. No, that self itself is a problem. The more and more you are putting self-effort, you are going away and away. Because Soham experience, the necessary condition is the dissolution of ego. Whereas when you say self-effort, there is this self which is insisting itself. Right. So the more and more do we do this self-effacement, the more and more we have a humble living, the more and more we practice egolessness, humility, the more and more we are preparing for that highest experience. That's why Ramana Maharshi says, Ahamapetakam nijavibhanakam mahadidam tapo Ramana Vagiyam. Ramana Bhagavan says, this is the greatest tapas. Not standing on one leg, looking at the sun, raised hand, no food, no water. No. What is the greatest tapas? Aham apetakam. Let this aham in you fall down. The patanam of aham, that is the greatest tapas. Then what will happen? Then Bhagavan will do what he is supposed to do. What he will do, his grace will enter. And what happens? You experience that highest truth. What is that highest truth? Essence in me is none other than Bhagavan alone. Right. So then Hanumanji said, Bhagavan, all this grace belongs to you alone. And Bhagavan, you said that, what can I give you? Are Bhagavan, there is something which you can give me. What is that? Nath bhagati ati sukhadaini dehu kripa kari anapaini suni prabhu parama sarala kapibani evamastu tab kaheu bhavan. Hanumanji said, Bhagavan, there is one thing you can give me. What is that? Bhakti. What kind of bhakti? Sukhadaini bhakti. The most blissful entity in this world, that is devotion. Anapaini bhakti, not something which is wavering. Bhagavan gave me single pointed, unwavering devotion unto your lotus feet. This is what I ask. What did Bhagavan say? Evamast. May it be so. And when all the monkeys heard this, they started chanting, Jai Sri Ram, glory unto Bhagavan. All of them were happy. Now, there is a Falashruti also for this. Yah samvad jasu ura ava, Raghupati charana bhagati soi pava. Anyone who listens to this particular episode with lot of Shraddha Bhakti, all those people will gain this Bhakti. That is the Falashruti of this particular episode. Okay? Right. So, for today, we will end here. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nija Mana Mukuru Sudhari Bharanau Raghubara Bimala Jasu Jodaya Kuphalachar Buddhihina Tanu Janike Bala buddhi vidya dehu mohi harahu kalesa bikar. Jai Hanuman Jnana Guna Sagar Jaya Kapi Sati Huloka Ujag Ramaduta Atulita Baladhama Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanama Mahabhira Bikram Bajrangi कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी, कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंद। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिंहि दिखावा, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे। लाय सजीवन हर्षि उर लाए, रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई। तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई, सहस वदन तुम्हरो जस गावे। अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा। नारद सारद सहित अहिसा, जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहांते। कवि कोविद कहि सके कहांते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा। राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा, तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना। सब जग जाना, जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु। लील्योताहि मधुर फल जान, प्रभु मुद्रिका मेले मुख माहि। जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते। सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे। होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरण। तुम रक्षक काहू को, आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे। तीनों लोक हांकते कापे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे। महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा। जपत निरंतर संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे। मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा। तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे। सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा। है पर सिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे। असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्ध नवनिधि के दाता। असबर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा। सदा रहो रघुपति के, तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे। जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई। और देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंदी महासुख होय। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।